Now then, welcome back to Tekkit Done in 60 days. And today we are busy in the space station. I've been fairly busy in the space station already, but we're going back up there now to have a quick look. Got a little bit oxygen issues because I've been using so much of it. But the days of oxygen being used up from tanks in the space station are nearly over. Today is day 40. I've been messing with it while setting up other things, like the new server has been set up for Utopia Season 3, and we've been messing around with testing and sorting things out over there. And now we're back. The space station has had to change a fair bit. The inside area here was far too big for the sealers to work and function. The sealers have an 800 block area of effect. 800 blocks. And I thought that maybe if I placed 4, one in each corner, it would quadruple that to 3,200 blocks and maybe fill this entire place. But no. So I've had to partition the upper floor. So the upper floor is partitioned off slightly, so that we've got sealed in, and each one of these little corridors between the seals are manufacturing their own little bit of air. And these little oxygen detectors are telling me when it's secure. When I'm coming from outside, which is technically that bottom area, that room there, when I'm coming from outside, there's no oxygen seal, so the light goes off briefly, which means that the oxygen tanks are still required. It's okay, because we're carrying the oxygen tanks anyway. And down this way, the lights stay on, because that area was oxygen sealed, and this area is oxygen sealed, so both sets of lights should be on at the same time, because both areas are oxygen sealed, which is cool. Okay, the little thing that I've got here is just from the top there, where I showed you before, the oxygen comes down into the floor, and we've got the oxygen sealer is just using 320 oxygen per second. It's receiving all the power and all the oxygen it could possibly need, and it's just keeping the place sealed. The power is currently coming up to it from below, and you may have noticed that I've got a tesseract below this block. The tesseract is currently coming from the big reactor back at base on Earth. However, Lewis will be starting on the reactor up here soon, so that's why it's down in the floor, so we can bring pipes up to this to power the oxygen sealing system from inside the space station. Now, outside, I still haven't done anything out here. I've used all of the resources, that meteoric iron, to make all the seals to do the inside of the space station. While Lewis is working on the power supply inside the space station, he doesn't need to be out here to get to the LHC, which is currently not made either, because that's the next job. So while he's working on that, I might just finish off sealing these bits so that he can work on the LHC without too much worry. Through this away, this little section here has had to be sealed off with glass and airlocks top and both sides, so we've got an access point to the middle ground. The middle ground is then also sealed and it's got a little same setup, a little oxygen detector and light, so we can see where we're going. And this heads us up and out of here. But you do need jetpacks to get up out of here. But because that's now sealed, it reseals itself, lovely like. And there you go. You can see that it's currently the sun going down, and it's night time, and all the solar panels are pointing. All the solar panels are now installed on each edge. Figured out that those were enough solar panels. All the wiring's done around from the solar panels to the inner wall, and from there I've also got another little section that does all the power supply that we saw in the last episode. All the oxygen is currently not got any power because it's night time. So while it's night time, they don't collect oxygen, which was a problem, and I thought about using energy storage cells. But I spotted somebody put in the comments that oxygen storage supplies would be better, and that's what I've got down here, look. So during the daytime, the space station will create a load of oxygen from this setup. And that oxygen is then stored in oxygen storage cells. I tested it out first with just a couple on the end here, and it figured out that I think I like the look of it, but this was just like on one side where the piping was. So I made a load more, and I used them as the floor of this little walkway, this gangplank walkway. So now it's the flooring, and it works just the same, really, but it comes into a oxygen pipe block at the end, instead of having the oxygen pipes running underneath and then dropping down. It's becoming quite intense how much piping and wiring and machines and stuff I'm having to use for it. But at the same point, it's starting to add more cool look to it. It's starting to look more technical and more cool. Instead, before, it was just a nice little blank canvas to work off. And now this little central section here, this little airlock, has got its own little airlocking supply, its own little supply of power going in, which comes from a Tesseract right now, but in the future we'll be able to bring it straight up from the reactor, straight up into another one of these wire covers to get into there. And then it will be powering itself. Right now, it needs a Tesseract, same as the other air seals do as well. But when Lewis has done his next bit, I'll be able to just literally take the Tesseract off and replace it with a sealable pipe, a sealable wire, and then that'll be that job done. So it looks cool though. I like the look of it, and I like the look of those going across there. So I'm going to make some more of those, and to make some more of those I need a lot of red dye. I'll show you when we get back down to the space station. Let's go back inside. I think you've pretty much seen exactly how I was planning on laying all of this out, and basically I just went ahead and did it. So I've got the oxygen sealable blocks all the way around the outside edge, then I've got lots of oxygen sealers. I've refilled all of the leaf blocks to fill it all in, and I've got it all wired up, and they're all enabled, so during daylight we get a ton of power. All this oxygen kicks in and then fills all of these oxygen cells, and then during the night these oxygen cells will slowly provide the power at the station with oxygen. It's lovely looking, it's fairly simple, but it did cost me quite a lot of resources and did take me quite a bit of time. But it's starting to feel like a working, functioning space station now. Feels like a functioning space station. I just need to continue spreading it out and sorting out those little bits. So I'm going to go and work in the base in the overworld right now. But this is like the final bit of sealing to do. I've got to seal from there down to here. I did a cross with that one, but now I want to do a slope coming down into it. So I'll stack it up and slope it up there and connect it all, and then do some sort of sealer on this section as well. Maybe. I mean, it's not essential, because we do carry our oxygen anyway. And then down here, Lewis has got a little area, a little pool for placing his reactor, which he'll be doing shortly, no doubt. Okay, so, where's my book? There's my book. Let's go and have a look at what we're doing here. Bing. Alrighty, we're back. Hello, me on the flag. How you doing? Right, so I think I've probably used everything up already to make these heavy oxygen tanks. These are what we're making. Now, red wool, I've still got a bit of red wool. I've got wool there. Yeah, I don't think I've got too much wool left. Let's have a look. I've got loads of white wool, and I've got a fair bit of red wool, so I'm okay to make a few more. Tin canisters and steel. I've been doing lots of compressing and stuff over there to get some stock up together. And I needed more red dye, and rather than searching around the overworld, we've got my night vision on. I need my helmet on, that'll be helpful, wouldn't it? Yeah. Night vision on. There we go. It may be a bit daunting over there, but it looks okay around here. Alright, so a very simple setup for getting flowers, right? So, which way around should we show you? Let's go autonomous activator. Okay, it's just going to receive bone meal. Oh, Lewis has arrived to start on his reactor. the bones from the wither farm, right? I just literally handcraft them into bone meal. Take the bone meal out. As you can see, I got a silk touch shovel and some grass, which I'm also going to take up to the space station, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yep. Oh, he's about to. Okay. You put the bone meal in the autonomous activator, and that makes something happen on the grass. Now, most of the time, that's just going to be normal grass. But every now and again, like that, there'll be a flower. And this terrain smasher will literally just smash what's in front of it when something's in front of it. And put it to the inventory behind. So, every now and again, I'm going to get a red flower there. For the amount of bones we've got, and the amount of bone meal you can turn that into, this is a fairly productive system for getting red flowers. And so far, we've got this amount, which is not bad. 27 roses is pretty good. Pretty good, I think, yeah? So let's just grab a few of those for now, leave them running. There was another one, yep. So this just runs and runs and runs, but I have to manually put stacks of bone meal in them. It's not a biggie, not a big deal. It gets me the red dye that I need to make the red of these, to make the red wool of these, which is an important material, and I'm not going to go running around all over the place to get it. Turn that night vision off now. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of these still to make. Let's throw all that into there, put the wool in there, and make as much red wool as we can as well. Make a few that way. Okay, so what do we got? Let's have a look. These tin canisters. Let's make a stack. That should keep us going for a bit. We've got a fair amount of resources in there, so we should be good to go. And let's take a few of these. Let's actually, let's just keep making them until we run out of steel or something. Which, I got a lot of steel, so we should be okay. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. I don't want to be there just clicking all the way. You guys will understand that I'll just carry on doing this afterwards. Right, oxygen collector, oxygen storage, oxygen collector. Where's that gone? I could just type it in, I know, but I like to have the whole place up here. The whole thing all set up. That's electric storage. I'm going to have to type it, aren't I? Ah, there it is. Oxygen storage. Oxygen storage, compressed steel, and the heavy oxygen tanks. Right? So we can now get 3 more of those. Why can't we get 3 more of those? Oh, I know why. Because I've got this set up to automatically put empty ones in there ready for us to autofill. So should really make some more of them, but let's just put that in there for now. Okay, so second auxiliary storage module. Now these storage modules are pretty cool, alright? They just literally will store oxygen. They have a maximum output of 2,000 per second, which means that they can supply quite a lot of that space station very quickly. And as I've got 4 banks of them, it's very, very quick indeed. And they're very simple, just oxygen in, oxygen out. And when you put them together, they'll have oxygen in through that to oxygen out. Very nice and simple. So yeah, give me pick. I still haven't upgraded my weapons. I sort of refuse to. Oh, he's off again. Bye. He's probably forgot something. Right, so what else we got? Oh yeah, that's another thing. We want to take the grass and the shovel upstairs to the space station. I say upstairs like there's actually stairs to travel. We'll take those up there. I don't really need the silk touch. I'll leave that down. And let's leave one of those just in case, for any reason, that gets destroyed or block placed or something daft happens. You never know. And do I want the bone meal and flowers and stuff on there as well? Let's see. Bone meal. Let's take some bone meal. Wheat is another good thing, isn't it? Wheat, seeds. So having seeds, I've only got 2 seeds in there. I can get some more seeds. And a hoe. Do I have a hoe in here? Do I have a hoe? No, I don't have a hoe. Why don't I have a hoe? Do I have a hoe in this? It's been a while since I did any gardening. The hoe's probably upstairs in the farm area. Oh well, it's only a hoe. We can make another one. Should we make it out of diamonds as well, just to be really, really silly? Actually, these yellow flowers don't really have a lot more use. Let's leave a bit and go and get the rest of them sorted out up there. And let's quickly make ourselves a hoe. We'll make ourselves a diamond hoe as well, because we've got plenty of diamonds and we really don't have any use for so many diamonds. But our infinite diamond machine can be turned on anytime we want. We just turn that mob farm back on. That's a pretty epic invention, that was. Right, so back to the space station. I'm going to have to change the spawning in location for this as well and put the book up there, I think. I'll probably just do that a bit later on, because spawning into where there's no air is a potential flaw in the system. Having somewhere that gives us oxygen tanks in an ender chest so that we can supply ourselves with gear is another thing as well. So let's go back on up. Shoot, boots on, shoot on, through the airlocks, up, thank you. Hey, there we go. Alrighty, so next, I want to change this around slightly, so, these blocks, gimme. Let's take the jetpack off for a minute. Alright, so, if I go from this side, it generally will work for me. Thank you. Like this. Like that. Okay. And then pop it on there. It'll immediately start filling up with oxygen. Immediately. It's already lost oxygen because it doesn't carry the oxygen when you place it. When you take it, it loses all the oxygen out of it. So then it'll just start filling up. Now that one will start feeding this one immediately, which is fine. And then we just keep replacing these all the way down the chain, all the way down there, and then stick that other block at the end there, the sealer block, to take it down into all the pipes. Really nice and simple, and it looks pretty good as well. I quite like the looks of it. I'll finish that off later though. Now we're gonna get some like grass growing and stuff. I think that's a good idea. Get a bit of grass growing around. Let's have grass heading around in the corners for definite, because there's no point planting any crops around where there's no oxygen sealers. These oxygen collectors are actually running on like a 120 when they're on this side, on the edges, and here they're running at 100. So the ones here are running at 100 directly. And if I'm quick, I should be able to plant some seeds without needing any water up here. And even if the soil isn't farmland afterwards, it will still be that seeds are growing. There we go. Let's see if we've increased the amount of oxygen. So it's still 100, and those seeds are just growing slightly, just starting to grow. If I put a bit more grass and stuff around here, and do a bit of bone mealing, let's see how much flowers give it. Just do this first section by this one over here. See how much capacity we can increase this to. So it's 120 at the minute. Let's do a little bone meal. Right, just some grass, just some basic Minecraft grass. Still 120. Okay, so not much of a difference there. None at all, in fact. Let's place a flower down. How are we doing? 120. I think it's actually going to be about stuff growing here. I believe that was what it was all about, leaf blocks and the like. Still 120. So it's not looking good for the fact that these... Oh, that's gone up to 120. That's gone up to 120. Take that off. Still technically 120. Still technically 120. Take that out. Still 120. Or is that now collecting from there? I don't know. Just plant a couple around. There we go. We'll just allow things to spread, and we'll just have a nice yellow flower system going on around here. Let the grass spread around. We'll put some wheat in patches and places like that. We'll just do a bit of hoeing every now and again and stick some wheat seeds down and see how these increase with time. Right, they're both 100. So let's plant a couple of flowers around, see what does the best. I might actually do a set test on this as well, just to find out exactly what is better. So on like this next section, right, I'm going to make note that that's 120 at the end, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, and 120 on the end, okay? And if we literally spam everything around this area with flowers, everything, we'll just keep putting flowers down until the whole place is full on this side. And on another side, I'm going to just do wheat and all wheat. Just, I'll get them all flowers. But see if this increases with flowers or whether it increases with wheat. And do a test side over here as well. This one over here, I could just hoe the whole place and put wheat down. And then I should be able to let you guys know the exact details. Because the wiki said that growing was the way it works, and it also said that unless you set the configs, these leaf blocks would decay as well, and I haven't experienced any leaf block decay yet, and these have been running for fair amount of time, and I've not experienced that. So maybe the mod has updated but the wiki has not yet, and if that's the case, well, we will find out by doing our own experiments and write our own wiki entry in this episode. Well, at least next episode I'll have the results for you. I'm going to go around and carry on doing all of this, generating some more seeds from my little device, my little bone meal machine. Make some more flowers so I can do a yellow flower side over here. And then we can have a little bit of a look back on it in the next episode of Tekkit Done in 60 days. I'm also going to finish these rows off because they look awesome. I like this walkway, it looks really cool now. And that, other than doing a bit of a seal job there and there, should be about that really, guys. The space station is virtually complete. Next, we've got some fun to be had next. Next, we've got to play around on the moon. We had a look at what we could do with moon buggies, and we also want to race donkeys. So I'm going to have some fun with making a really crazy racetrack on the moon so me and Lewis can go and race donkeys. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching Tekkit Done in 60 days. I will see you very, very soon.